Hey there, fellow Star Rail enjoyers. So, if you're watching this video, then you're probably trying to plan ahead for your stellar Jades, because as we all know, the upcoming versions are looking absolutely stacked, and there are quite a few big-name characters expected to be releasing in the upcoming patches. So today, we're going to go patch by patch, covering all of the currently known and rumored characters expected to appear between version 4.3 to 4.6, so you can start figuring out exactly who you want to save for. Before we begin though, let me just provide a disclaimer that everything presented in this video is taken from numerous unofficial sources as well as my own personal speculation and may not turn out to be completely accurate in the future. So please make sure to take everything with a huge grain of salt. Starting things off with version 4.3, this patch is currently expected to feature only one new limited character, and that character is none other than Mordenak's Blade, who is rumored to be a fire element unit that follows the path of Nihility. According to recent information, Mordenak's Blade will likely take the role of a DPS and support hybrid, as he'll be able to both function as a damage dealer and supportive unit, with the upcoming Aventurin SP being his best in-slot partner. Considering how powerful Nihility units have been historically, especially those that are able to fill multiple team roles, Mordenak's Blade could very easily become one of those must-pull characters, depending on how his kit turns out. Moving forward into version 4.4, this is where things start to get really interesting, because this patch is rumored to introduce multiple major characters, including some very unexpected names. First is Himeko SP, which is already generating a lot of attention simply because SP versions of characters tend to bring in entirely new mechanics and roles compared to their original forms. Now, the original Himeko is known for her follow-up attack playstyle and multi-target damage, so an SP version of Himeko could potentially shift her into a completely different role, such as a more focused single-target damage dealer, a support-oriented hybrid unit, or even something completely new that expands on her existing mechanics. Historically speaking, SP characters have often introduced unique gameplay systems that end up defining new team compositions, so if Himeko SP follows that trend, then she could easily become one of the most talked about characters once her full kit details are revealed. And interestingly enough, some of the more recent leaked discussions have also started mentioning potential early teammate setups for Himeko SP, which gives us a small hint about the kind of teams she might fit into. Right now, some early speculation lists characters like Welt, Sunday, and Danhung Permancerterai as possible teammates that could work well alongside her, which might suggest that Himeko SP benefits from teams that combine strong damage output with supportive utility and control effects. Of course, these early team suggestions are still very speculative, but when leaks start mentioning specific teammate combinations this early, it usually means that the character may have mechanics that interact closely with certain team archetypes. So if Himeko SP ends up working particularly well with characters like those, she could become part of a very structured team setup rather than just being a flexible, standalone damage dealer. Alongside Himeko SP, another very major rumored addition in version 4.4 is Gilgamesh, who is currently rumored to follow the path of destruction. Now, destruction characters are known for being powerful frontline damage dealers that combine strong offensive output with survivability, so if Gilgamesh really does land in the destruction category, there's a very strong possibility that he ends up being a high-damage carry capable of handling both single-target and multi-target scenarios. Given the name alone, expectations are naturally going to be extremely high for this character, and if the rumors hold true, Gilgamesh could easily become one of the headline units of version 4.4. And that's not all, because version 4.4 is also rumored to include Rin Tosaka, who is currently speculated to follow the path of Harmony. Now, Harmony characters are typically focused on buffing teammates, increasing overall team performance, and enabling stronger damage output across the board. So if Rin Tosaka truly ends up being a Harmony unit, there's a strong chance she becomes a highly valuable support character, especially if her buffs provide unique scaling bonuses or utility effects that synergize well with upcoming damage dealers. Now moving ahead into version 4.5. This is where we start seeing more SP characters returning to the spotlight, and this patch is rumored to feature both Aventurin SP and Robin SP. Starting with Aventurin SP. According to one of the most reliable sources in the community, Aventurin SP will be an elation-based main damage dealer specializing in dealing damage through follow-up attacks. Now, considering his path is elation, you might think that he will use the same current elation-based supports like Sparksy and Yao Guang. However, this is actually not the case according to the same source, who goes on to state that Aventurin SP's kit will be specifically designed to only function when there is only one elation path character in the team. Meaning you can't use elation-based supports with him, unlike most other elation-based DPS units. He is, however, said to function well with the newer non-elation path units, such as the upcoming Mordenax Blade and even Ash Veil, who boosts follow-up attack damage. Moving along, we also have Robin SP, which is another extremely exciting rumored character for version 4.5, and based on some newer leaked discussions, she may actually have a very direct connection to those same Himeko SP team setups that were mentioned earlier. More specifically, some early information suggests that while characters like Welt, Sunday, and Danheng Permancer are currently being considered as strong teammates for Himeko SP, Sunday may eventually be replaced by Robin SP in certain versions of that team. Now, if that ends up being accurate, that could be a very strong sign that Robin SP is being designed as an upgraded or more specialized support option for those types of compositions. That kind of role replacement is usually a pretty big indicator that a character is intended to become a core support unit rather than just another optional buffer, and if Robin SP ends up providing stronger synergy, improved buff effects, or more efficient team-wide bonuses compared to existing Harmony-style characters, then she could quickly become one of the most valuable support units released during this period. So instead of just being another general-purpose support character, Robin SP could end up being one of those highly specialized units that significantly improves certain team archetypes, especially if her abilities are designed to enhance follow-up attacks, coordinated damage, or other forms of team-based synergy. And if she really does end up replacing characters like Sunday in optimized team setups, then Robin SP could very easily become one of those long-term investment characters that stays relevant across multiple future updates as new team strategies continue to develop. And finally, there is version 4.6. One of the possible characters that could appear in this patch is Nihilux. Very little information has come out for this character, so far as her release is pretty far off. But according to some info from one recent post, Nihilux's role is said to be similar to that of Cyrene, in that she has access to a second transformation state during battle and can support other characters' elation abilities. If this comparison ends up being accurate, then Nihilux could function as one of those hybrid-style characters that brings both utility and scaling potential, depending on how her transformation mechanic works. And honestly, that kind of flexibility usually leads to characters aging pretty well in the meta over time. Now, of course, it's still very important to remember that all of this information about Nihilux is extremely early. We don't have confirmed details about her exact element, path, and full kit structure just yet. So for now, this is more of a preview of what direction she might take rather than finalized information. Other than Nihilux, the other character that could be featured in this patch is Pearl, who is previously rumored to be a preservation unit that had an enhanced basic attack as part of her kit. However, this has since said to be incorrect according to another leaker in the community. Personally, my best guess is that Pearl will likely be listed as an elation unit on the surface, but will basically act as an preservation unit in disguise, which is similar to a character like Hyacinth, for example, who's considered a remembrance character by the game, but in reality acts as Abundance Path Sustain. So that's pretty much all of the upcoming character banners coming to HSR between patch 4.3 to 4.6. If you find this video informative, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest HSR news, character guides, and banner information. That's it for now, so I'll be seeing you guys in the next one.